In the UK, unemployment has jumped and is expected to rise further. As of April, more than 2 million people are claiming jobless benefits. And the Chancellor, Rishi Sunak, has warned that there will be no quick return to normal. To ease the burden on the tech and start-up sector, the government's Future Fund is opening today. It's a scheme where taxpayer money will be invested into some of the country's most promising start-ups. Many of these companies are currently operating at a loss, which means they have difficulty normally in applying for loans. Dom Hallis is the Executive Director of the Coalition for Digital Economy, a trade group representing UK startups, and joins us now from London. Morning, thank you very much for speaking to us. Give us an overview how the pandemic has impacted startups and tech firms in the UK. What's the impact been?
Yeah, so what we've seen is a really clear impact, which is investment down 32% in Q1, according to Bohurst data, but also just a whole bunch of stories and the kind of anecdotes that we get from local founders that have seen term sheets pulled, have seen investors disappear. And so it's been a really big impact, and that's why today's package and the opening of the fund is so important.
Presumably this is an industry that would be able to adapt faster, maybe more efficiently to working remotely. Has that been the case?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've even seen people sort of changing the whole, pivoting away from their original business to do something slightly different. But of course, they can react very quickly. What they can't survive is a global economic crisis. And ultimately, the key thing that drives startup success is the ability to continue to raise capital and then grow. And that's why we've needed this package, and that's why we're hopefully optimistic that the fund opening today can save as many of these companies as possible.
These companies, projects, businesses, what will this money be helping to fund?
So first of all, it will help to fund the kind of workers that you continue to employ to grow these businesses. We'll see it also funding the innovative R&D that will turn into the next big ideas that can hopefully conquer the world.
Could you examples of the businesses?
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, we'll see a whole bunch of the med techs. So, for example, the kind of exciting remote doctors that have been so important as part of this crisis. The fintechs that have been so successful in the UK previously, whether that's Monzo or TransferWise, what you won't see is those companies getting money, but you'll see the next ones getting the money. And so a whole range across many verticals, many sectors. But the idea is that this will be accessible across the piece, and companies will be able to get the money they need.
There were some concerns that this scheme might interfere with another government scheme, the Enterprise Investment Scheme, that provides some sort of tax relief. Do you know if that's the case, and what the consequences might be if there are sort of overlapping schemes here?
Yeah, that's right. So ideally, investors would have been able to access the EIS tax incentive as part of this investment. They won't be able to, but in many ways, that means it will actually encourage investors from outside the UK who don't get that tax break anyway to invest. It's a really good deal for them. So we'll wait and see exactly what the impact of that is as the scheme opens today. But ultimately, for the time being, I think the main priority for businesses is how do they get access to that cash.
Dom Hallis, thank you very much, Executive Director for the Coalition for Digital Economy, a trade group that represents UK startups.